You are now listening to
The Reallyjeff Podcast. Really Jeff. Really.
In response to people talking about the kids, I was like, man, they gotta stop babying these kids, man. And that's not just with sports, that's just in general, you know.
Yeah,
And it's
I think
like,
more than sports.
say that again.
I think it should be more in general than just in sports.
Right. But to me, sports plays a big factor, and especially for, coming from a male point of view. I
Right.
think I think sports plays a big factor into your manhood, you know,
Facts.
and because you it kind of molds you, it shapes and molds you. You know what I mean? Just like in practice, you got people that work hard, you got people that don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got people that's gonna do the extra work after practice. You got some that don't. But to me, I think that kind of shapes you, into it's like the early stages of manhood, because you got to get out there on your own, really.
True.
You know,
No
none,
doubt.
none of them coaches gonna make you stay at the practice and put in extra work.
Right.
It's like if you want to do it, cool. Oh, say that again.
I said, especially when the kid ain't trying to do it or whoever the individual is.
Right. You know what I mean? You can't force nobody to do nothing. It's like you gotta want to do them extra reps, And not to mention, I seen so many people talking about, hey, those are kids, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, do you know what we went through when we was at
Yeah.
practice? You want to talk about verbal abuse
Right.
from your coaches? I'm talking about, man, we got called dumb, stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Coach Bradford,
In
Coach
the
Bradford,
head with a clipboard.
say that again.
I got hit in the head with a
Yeah.
clipboard.
Hey, slapped in the head with pieces of paper. Coach Bradford called you a moron. Uh, You know what I'm saying? Talking about you in the stands, fat mouthing with
Right.
Sweet Willie G in them. Uh, all that, you know what I'm saying? Just like dumb stuff. I remember one coach told me I wasn't smart enough one day.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna blast him by saying his name, but I keep in mind that what is it? That was probably my junior year in high school. I've never forgot that.
Right. Oh, some of that stuff gonna stick with you, man. A
Yeah,
lot of it.
right. So it's like, man, y'all talking about because well, from what I gather, it was one person who made a comment about the team.
Yeah.
To me, that didn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, he didn't direct it at one person. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Keep in mind, there was a lot of busted plays. You could have
Right.
said this person on that play, this person on that play. He just said as a team. But to me, and just kind of, things I've experienced in life, it's kind of like, dude, you buckle down and you make them eat them words, you know?
True. That's how you should take it. Anybody should. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's constructive criticism or not, you still got to take it with a grain of salt and make the best of it.
Yeah. And see, and then this the crazy thing about it, right? Most people that I saw, the majority of the people was probably women. And I was like, man, you know how many women I see call their kid bitches, call their daughter bitches,
Right. Right.
little hoe, little stank
Yeah.
hoe. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it's like, so it's different now. You know what I'm saying?
Because they doing it, you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I know a lot, man, I'm gonna be real. I know a lot of parents that shouldn't be parents. They got
Right.
kids that don't take care of their kids to the best of their ability. You
I
know,
agree.
and keep in mind that might be being a little judgmental because they say most parents parent the best way that they know how. But you got some that ain't even trying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just waiting
Right.
on tax season. You know what I mean? Or them parents that never had a kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, what about them babies then?
Oh no, because it's not about everybody else's kids when it's their own. They don't want to bring that out on their own kids, but they'll criticize and talk about others.
Yeah, yeah. And see, like when I seen a lot of them posts, I'm like, dude, it kind of took me back to our day, right? And I'm like, man, Coach Turner used to cuss us out. Your uncle used to cuss us out all the time, weekly.
Right,
But we love that man to death.
right.
You know what I'm
Because
saying? He,
from a good place, he just wanted to get the best out of us.
yeah,
It wasn't nothing to ruin your morale or anything. It was just to push you to make you be the best person, the best athlete that you could possibly be.
right. Yeah. And it's kind of like, man, those are young men. They need that,
Yeah,
you
oh,
know?
no doubt. Because most of them don't have their male figure at the house anyway.
Right. Right.
So that's another big issue with it.
Right.
Mom trying to raise boys to men.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that's a lot of the problem, you know?
Right,
So it's like as a man, it's it's somewhat our fault or that person's fault
right.
of them young men not having a solid man in their life. But at the same time, as a mother, you gotta know when to let the reins go, you know?
That's
And it's like, look, hey, he gonna have to get cussed out, you know.
right.
A young man gotta learn adversity. You know, so if he get everything his way, he hadn't learned nothing,
Not at
you know.
all.
And I'm just gonna call it a hard lesson
Right,
because I talked to one of my partners the other day, and he was talking about how his grandpa wasn't a great grandpa. You know, he was like he taught us how to work on houses and stuff, but he just wasn't the best grandpa, maybe even parent. But after that, he told me how his grandpa left them, properties and things like that, you know. And
right,
I'm like, to me, it sounds like he sacrificed family time in order to leave y'all with something. And
right.
and then on top of that, he showed y'all some skills that you use to this day, like right now.
Yeah, we all get them hard lessons like that, man. I mean, maybe not to that extent, but we all get those hard lessons, and half of the time we don't realize it until way after the fact. You
Right.
know, like even going back through the sports and stuff. Growing up in high school, junior high, I didn't get praised on the good things that I did. I always got that. Well, you should have had an extra catch. You dropped it, or you should have made that block. Even though I could have had a good game, scored a touchdown, caught 5 or 6 balls, but my
Yeah.
daddy always pointed out those things I could have done better, and I appreciate that now. Because you don't want to build a kid's ego. You don't want to build a young man's ego too much to where they don't understand values and lessons, throughout life in general.
Right. Right. Yeah. And see, I think that's the biggest thing right there. It's like, man, as I was saying, it's more than about playing football right now at the moment.
Right,
It's about that person going into manhood, like after high school, going into college, or just going into the workforce, whatever the
right,
case may be, you know.
right.
And I mean, being honest, I know some dudes right now to this day that I'm gonna be real. I call them spoiled. And some of my close friends, and I
Yeah,
used to tell them, man, I hate y'all spoiled kids. Cause I,
right,
cause I'm like, I don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? To be
right,
spoiled and get what
right,
you want. You make a phone call, you get what you want. But when I got older, I realized that I had things that they lack.
right,
Which is like, I'm knowing in my mind I can't rely on nobody to help me out. I gotta go do it.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like now look, I'm not gonna say no names, but we both got a mutual friend who in college I'm paying my own bills.
Right.
His mom and them paying his bills.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I told him, I'm like, dude, I wish I had somebody like that behind me. You know what I'm saying? To help me.
Right.
But I don't. So I'm like, dude, I wouldn't mess up that money like you messing up.
Right.
You know, and I'm just keeping it real with him because it was times. And keep in mind, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I'm just using this as an example.
Right.
It was times where he let his water get cut off, and he come over over my apartment, me and Denise's apartment, and use the shower. And it's like, dude, why your water off when your parents send you the bill money?
Sending you all this money to take care of
Yeah.
that.
It's like, dude, they send you the money. Why is your water off? But he was just wasting his money, you know? So it's like I didn't realize until really I got out on my own, well, away from the house. And I'm
Right.
like, dang, that's the difference. Those spoiled kids, they don't have that. They'll mess up some stuff real quick.
Right.
What's up, Max Julian? But yeah, and it took me a while to learn that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. See, I had a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad was in the same household, married, all of that. But my mama, I know she was gonna give me her last if I needed.
Yeah.
Now I might get fussed at, you know what I'm saying, because I'm gonna continue to ask. But I know she got me, and my daddy would too. But I ain't want to ask him because he was gonna give me that hard lesson on why he gonna give it to me or why he's not gonna give it to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I had it both ways, and a lot of my friends, especially from college, a lot of the guys that we went to school with up in at Bethel, that always came to visit, they
Mhm.
appreciated being around my people because most of them came from single parent households. The families weren't close, and when they came down this way, we always had big cookouts. Everybody was there. Everybody, having a good time, and they weren't used to that.
Yeah.
So I see both sides of it, but I don't think I abused it too much. You know what I'm saying? I never let myself get that far off a track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. See, and I agree with you, right? And so with me having a little insight to it, I think you were the best of both worlds, but in my opinion, it's like they gave you things that you wanted, but it was something humble. You know,
Right,
instead of going to get you a new car, you got the Yoda. You
right.
know what I'm saying? It was, it wasn't the brand new, fresh out thing. It's
Yeah,
hey, this is what you need to help you get by.
that's it.
Yeah, so I can appreciate them hard lessons. And
Right,
and if you really think about it, it was low key hard lessons because it's like, hey, you got to work to get something better. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Hey, I got you this old school Yoda. It run
Right,
good.
right.
You know what I'm
No
saying?
power steering, but it ran good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it get you from hope to Fulton, from school to practice, all that,
Yeah,
and back home without a problem.
that's
Hey,
true.
shout out to Max Julian, man. Hey, man, we appreciate that. Hey,
Oh yeah,
we trying to spread the love, man. We gotta stop babying these kids, especially young black men. Really, any
facts.
any young man, but of course we only know the black side of it. You know what I'm saying? But what was, in your opinion, what was your biggest hard lesson that you ever had?
Man, really, I think, well, especially growing up, I remember in junior high, I think seventh, eighth grade, what was our science teacher, Miss Scoggins, I think, black lady.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah, Miss Scroggins.
she did not like me for some reason. Well, I won't say she didn't like me, but from her knowing my people, she made things harder for me. You know what I'm saying? People was in class clowning. I'm talking about shooting spitballs at her, locking her in the classroom, like TV stuff. Like we was seeing this firsthand. And just because my uncle coached at the school,
Hmm.
my aunt taught at another school, I had family all over the school district. She singled me out because I was laughing and smiling like the rest of the kids at the couple that was doing what they were doing.
Yeah,
I got kicked out of school for that. I
but
got suspended to the parent conference for that. And the fact that my parents believed the teacher first, man, that hurt me so bad. But I kind of get it because majority of the time the elders are normally right, but sometimes they're wrong. And that was one of those times, and they found that out at the parent conference. They kind of could tell that she was picking because of some of the things she said in that parent conference. The principal even saw it.
Yeah.
So that 1 day suspension, you know, it caused me a lot of pain when I got home. Boy, my dad told me up, boy, like for real. And what hurt me the most was them not believing me. I wasn't a trouble kid. Y'all know. I did what I was supposed to do. I laughed and I joked with everybody. I was cool with everybody. I ain't had no beef with nobody, adults, children, nothing. But the fact for them not to believe me when I'm telling them, look, I didn't do anything. All I did was smile and laugh at what everybody else was doing.
Right.
That bothered me for a while. And and my daddy, I still to this day, I tell him, I said, man, you still hadn't apologized for me for whooping me that day. He said, well, hell, you probably needed it one other time. That's all he gonna tell me. Like for real. For one of the times I missed out.
Right.
Especially with having kids now, I get it.
Yeah. Hey, he owed you that one up.
Yeah, he owed me that one. That's exactly what he said.
Hey, Jen say not too much on the Yoda.
Yeah, that's her. That was her baby first.
Right.
3 times.
Hey, that Yoda was solid, man.
Oh,
Yoda was solid. So look, you know, the funny thing is, man, I had some similar stuff happen to me, man. Like I got a couple whoopings over something I didn't even do wrong, man. And man, for the longest time, man, I was mad at Miss Piggy.
for real.
Yeah, man, because I was writing my name on my pants in class at Burl Henry. And I think I was in Miss Biddle class. She sent me to the office. You remember how people used to write the smile, you know, with the funny letters? I'm writing my name like that. Man, Miss Biddle sent me to the office. I get to the office, they talking about I'm writing gang signs on my pants. I was like, what? I'm not even in a gang.
Right.
You know? And of course they called my daddy, and I'm sure you was just like me, man. If your daddy come to the school, you getting a whooping, it don't matter what happens.
Yeah,
you know? So yeah, man, I get home, I get a whooping. I'm telling my dad, I'm not even in a gang. I'm like, I'm writing my name. I'm showing him like this is my name. It's just upside down or something like that. Man, got my butt tore up, man. I'm like, I guess I don't need to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? But it was just, man, there was so many different situations like that. I'm gonna be real with you. Probably my hardest lesson, man, the first time I got caught shoplifting.
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying I was a bad kid, but I got caught shoplifting. But man, they took me to jail, fool. Like yeah, like man, this the first time I ever been to a jail. Like I never went in the cell. They put me in the backseat of the car. I'm like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And when they got down there, they saw how mad my daddy was. And they was like, we just gonna let you go with your daddy.
Yeah, because they knew what was up.
Yeah. Yeah. When I say I got a beating in my lifetime, you know, I really stopped stealing after that. You know what I'm saying? But this was the hard lesson though. I was stealing like pens, like the good writing pens, and like lead pencils. And for some reason I wanted a flashlight. You know? I don't know why. You know, I guess I just wanted to play with it in the dark. So I stole a flashlight. And I was just like, man, look at what I'm stealing. Nobody took the time out to look at what I was stealing. I'm stealing stuff for school.
Right.
And I'm be honest, I got caught because I had a mesh jersey on with the holes in it. It was a little Nike jersey. And I'm young. I'm not thinking people can see right through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Got caught. But anyway, it just made me realize, like, man, I just need to go out and get what I want. You know what I'm saying? Be able to pay for it myself. Even though I got my butt towed up really well. I'm like, I just need to be able to go out and make money to provide for whatever I want.
Right.
So when you fast forward that story to like junior, senior year in high school, whenever I started working, really my first job was at 15. But
Yeah.
I paid for graduation, prom,
Right.
anything I want to do, I paid for.
Yeah.
Now, and keep in mind, I wasn't making nothing, probably $100 every week or every 2 weeks or something. Yeah. But it taught me that responsibility. So
Right.
when you fast forward to when we was in college with, the mutual friend of ours, I know how to pay my bills. I,
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. I've been working, paying for stuff like since I'm like 15, you
Yeah.
know? And I guess that's something that they lack. So have you ever observed a hard lesson that you learned something from?
Yeah. I mean, just the simple fact of if graduating high school and wanting to get away, like it wasn't the fact that anything was wrong, but I was always the little brother. Everybody looked at me, oh, that's Beatty brother, that's Will brother, that's Tootie brother, all of that stuff. I had to get away from that. I had to figure out who I was, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I got to get away. It ain't no hate or remorse toward anybody. I just need to figure out who I am. And when I went off and went to college, I stayed away for 10 years, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wanted to stay away and just be on my own, be my own person, man. And I learned the hard way some, and a lot of things went good, but there were some bad things, that went on in that process. But it helped me become the man that I am. I learned how to face adversity on my own. You know, a lot of the guys that I came up there with, they weren't there with me the majority of the time I was there. So I was by myself a lot. You know what I'm saying? I made new friends too, but it wasn't the same at that time. I didn't have those guys that I could count on like that. Terrence was the only one up there the majority of the time like that. And once I got done with ball, we kind of spread apart too because I started working and doing other things.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest ones, but I value that one though. I needed that to figure out who I am.
You know what? This the crazy thing, right? I seen that whole thing happen, right?
Yeah,
I don't think I ever understood it till just now, you know?
yeah,
And it make perfect sense. And I guess this is why. Because I thought you were cool as you were before you left. You know what I'm saying? Like you were okay with the person you were. I didn't really look at it as, what I'm saying, you still trying to find yourself.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I swear it just hit me as you just said. It makes perfect sense
Right.
because I seen you kind of carrying yourself different, and
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like it because because I'm used to you being a certain way.
Right. Right.
But it makes sense now. It's like, all right, I'm about to become a man.
Yeah.
So and I don't want to be known for this certain thing or being a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I want to make my own way. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It make perfect sense. And see, going back to the hard lessons, right? I don't think these kids today they're not taking them hard lessons.
No.
You know, and Max Julian, he agrees. Say you gotta make your own way. What?
That's right.
Oh, he say
Uh,
Ty is a real.
Shout out to you. That was my dog, man.
Hold
Still
on,
my
no,
dog.
hold on. Which Terrence was you talking about? T.Y.'s or my brother?
No, I'm talking about Terrence Cheatham, your
Oh,
brother.
okay. All right, I
But
got
T-Wise was my dog too. That's one of the friends I made while I was there.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Terrence Cheatham is my family.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? I still relied on him some too.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, not to, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, I was just, acknowledging Max, man. Hey, we appreciate the feedback also, man.
Yes, sir.
Uh, but man, these kids today, man, they not getting them hard lessons, man.
Nah.
I'm talking about they being baby. I'm talking about girls and boys. You
Right.
know, like, like, and I give you another example. My little girl had soccer practice the other day. Oh, you seen that?
Dude, crazy.
Hey man, look, hey, all right, since Nick wanna comment, yes, it was Nick. It was Nick. And I wasn't gonna say it, but since he said it, there you go. Look, and keep in mind, Nick, hey, it's no disrespect, man. It's just my observation. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, man, when you got some spoiled friends, you be low key jealous. So
I see that.
yeah, it was no disrespect. It's just hey, we got different upbringings,
Right.
and not saying that you didn't figure it out, but it's just at that time when we was younger.
I can believe that.
he said when they said they weren't gonna pay another bill, he got smart. I
Yeah,
bet.
I can see that.
I bet, because Nick was getting big boy Aishas in Pine Bluff. I'm talking about big boy Aishas and everything else.
No, they not, Gene. They not in
No,
line.
you're right. And see, that's what I'm saying, Jen. I agree with you. They're not letting their kids experience those hard lessons. And
No.
kind of like earlier when I was like, you got to know when to let the reins go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, a kid got to bump his head before he learns to stop running in the house.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
but they learn it so early that they get used to it and it never changes. The parent gets used to it and the child.
Hmm.
There are parents that are willing to go fight a little kid because their child and that other kid is into it.
Oh, yeah.
Here, I whoop the kid and the mama. You know, that type of stuff. Man, you have to learn your lessons. You gonna get whooped some, you might win some. You ain't gotta go pick up no pistol and do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, it just don't make sense how teenagers have got so much access to adult things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And see, man, I think we probably all anybody with a kid probably is guilty of it. Like right now, today, you know. Oh yeah, Max
Yeah.
Jr. I got an episode about rap music is killing the
Right.
kids on my podcast. So yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, I agree with you, right? And it's like I get it. You want to give your kid what you didn't have, but man, you gotta keep them kids humble. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give them hard lessons. You gotta show them what it's like not to have things.
Right.
You
It's
know?
okay to say no.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And see, like man, I came to the conclusion about my kids having too many options. When I wanted to get my oldest to walk with me, and she didn't want to walk, she was like, "Can I ride my bike? Can I get on my scooter? Can I get on my little the little electric little scooter she got?" And it's like, no, man, we gonna walk. You know, I'm talking about broke down crying on me, man. Broke down crying because I asked her to go walking with me.
Yeah, I can believe that.
What's up, Tiff?
That's true though, Tim. But that's the difference though. A grandparent is supposed to coddle their grandchildren. We as the parents need to stay on the ass. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep them structured. Because
Yeah.
our parents who are those grandparents now, they didn't treat us like a lot of the parents do to their kids now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
they was on us. They pushed us in the classroom, at home, at church, or wherever the case may be. They pushed us and made us do those things that we might not have wanted to do. You know, and all of that.
Yeah. So let me check on Chris. What's up, Chris? I know Chris on break right now. He always working. Uh Chris say it starts at the house with the parents,
Right.
but in today's society you have kids raising kids. Now,
Two.
facts. Now, let me also say this. YouTube is raising these kids too. And
Yeah.
who do these kids watch on YouTube? Some more kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the crazy thing, the parent is really the mastermind. Cause you're really putting your kid out here just so you can get that, just to get that income, Just like my kids used to love watching what is it, Ryan?
Yeah.
And then I go in Walmart and I see Ryan got cereal now, and they want the cereal. I'm like, man, I'm not buying that cereal. What's wrong with
Right.
you? Oh,
That's it.
what Max say, the younger generation is way more friendly. Too friendly. Too friendly. I gotta tell mine sometimes, man, you don't know that person. Like, what's wrong
Yeah.
with you? Too many friends as parents. I agree with that, Nick. For sure.
I'm gonna tell you, I saw something the other day, and I never even paid attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the cereal aisle, all of the cartoon characters and stuff on there, their eyes are looking down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because the main consumer is the child. They want them to look down, the animals or whatever the creature is on the front of the box, to look down at the kid, and the kid always does what? They look up to adults. So they see the cereal, they see the cartoon characters, and they want to buy. Daddy, I want this. Like you just said, they want that cereal. They want, they want these things.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and a lot of this stuff we don't pick up on. That's something that's simple. We don't even pick up on like that.
yeah. You're right, man. It's like today's society, everybody wanna make money off exploiting kids.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's YouTube, rap music, and I'm gonna
TikTok.
tell TikTok. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you one thing that it really pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. My kids had a book fair, and my oldest like, hey, can I have some money for the book fair? And this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what you gonna get from the book fair? And so she told me. So I look it up. I Google it, look at the price
Right.
on the internet. Then I look and see the price in the book fair. And then when you walk into the book fair, you got the people that's working it. It's like, hey, you like this? You like this? Man, get out of my kid face.
Right. They
You know
didn't
what I'm
do us.
saying?
We got
Yeah,
to walk around and pick
right.
what we.
Yeah, Nick. They still have book fairs, no lie. And this
Yeah.
lady she's trying to recruit my kid to come over there and shop. And keep in mind, she said something real quick, and I'm already knowing what she was on. She trying to get her to lock in on something and be like, Daddy, can I have this just so I can buy it? When y'all overcharging for them books that's in there or whatever it is, it's like a
Yeah.
bunch of man, no lie. A lot of this stuff look like you can get from the Dollar Tree. I'm just be real. You got a little
Yeah.
sticker. You got sticker books.
Right.
But me being me, you know what I used to do? I hadn't done it a little bit. I used to take them babies to Dollar Tree, baby. You get whatever you want up out of here.
Right.
You can get 5 items. And you know what she say till today? Dollar Tree is her favorite store. She's like, I love Dollar Tree.
Oh
She
yeah.
she would walk with me to Dollar
Buck.
Tree. Say that again.
She maximizing her buck. She getting the
Yeah.
most buck.
Right. And see, man, dude, you ever took your kids on like a random outing and be like, all right, we in Walmart. Let's just hit the toy aisle. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pick y'all something. But
Yeah.
I was like, look, you got a $5 limit. You know how
Right.
hard it is to find something? And this is before the inflation went crazy.
Right.
You know how hard it is to find something on the toy aisle for $5?
No doubt.
Man, about the best thing you can get is a board game. And a lot of them
And
by 8 to
oh,
10.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just like, man, that's crazy, man. Everybody want to exploit kids.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't even watch real TV around your kids because when them scenes gonna come on where they making love, and it's no disrespect to nobody or nothing like that, but it's like, come on, man, I don't want my kid to see that.
Right. No
You know?
doubt.
And it's like, man, I'm really tired of everybody leaning on kids, trying to make they come up off of kids, man. It's really sad.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can't think of any industry that don't do it. But look, hey, I know it's getting late. We're gonna have to bring this to a close. We can't go like an hour and a half like we did
Right.
last time.
But
But
that's back to the parenting though. All of
yeah,
that.
and the hard lessons, yeah.
Right.
What's your closing remarks about them hard lessons?
Man, young parents, 20s, 30s, even 40s. Man, let your kids bump their head. Let them scuff their knee up. Don't baby them every single time that something's not going that way, because that's why we're in the situation we are with the majority, that we seeing on the news in all of these bad situations. We got to let them learn lessons. We got to stand firm on our beliefs and what our parents believe with us, because you can't be these kids' friend, man. I love my kids to death. I joke and play with them, but when we're in an adult setting, they're not present.
Yeah.
They don't need to be in an adult setting.
Yeah. Man, I say this, right, just to, close it out. In my experience, if you give your kid everything, they appreciate nothing.
Facts.
You
Major
know,
facts.
and I know that might not be the best way to say it, but if you give your kid everything, they'll never appreciate anything. And that's how my kids do me. And this is when I'm kind of realizing it. It's like I could take my kid to go get an icy today. Tomorrow they want ice cream. The day
Oh, no
after
doubt.
that they want a snow cone. The day after that they want pizza. And a lot of times, I try to keep them humble and I tell them, look, I just bought you an icy yesterday. You want ice cream today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right now, Tiff.
100%.
All
She
right
talk.
now, Tiff.
She talking it. That's it.
You know what, Tiff? I really wanted to say when I seen a lot of people that was offended, I may have said it actually. To me, it was more women, and it's like, man, them young men right there, you know.
Yeah.
And you're right, you hit the nail on the head. That's part of the problem. Oh, actually, we did kind of touch on that because I was saying it's partly our fault as men, as the
Right.
men that's not there. But
Yeah.
as I tell people all the time, you don't have to be the daddy to be a man to a
That
son.
cut you off and say the exact same thing. But
Yeah.
the women have to understand that every man ain't trying to be your kid daddy. He's just trying to be a positive influence. Some of these kids, they need that positive influence. And it's men out here that's willing to do that. That don't mean
Mm-hmm.
talk to mama and do all of that other stuff. They just trying to help these kids.
Yeah. You know what, Chris, yeah, you kind of piggybacked off of what Max was saying. And I'm not gonna lie, I never really heard that term of about listening until Chris just explained it. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. I completely agree with that.
yeah,
And also I think especially as black men, we gotta be better uncles, better cousins. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, man, it's a few guys that played a factor in my life that outside of my daddy. I got uncles, step uncles. It was just some of your brothers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
like I was just telling Denise yesterday. I was like, man, I wanted to no lie, I wanted to be a newt when I was younger because of them.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're right, Chris. Better role models
Yeah,
because, and that's what it was. They were just good, positive guys. That wasn't in the way. You know what I'm saying?
right.
They just, living their life and just being humble and just doing what a man's supposed to do. You work, you take care of home, take care of your kids. That's it, man. You can't help but to respect a man like that.
Right. I'm gonna tell you another thing, man. Even back in the gap, the street dudes would look out for the kids. They wasn't putting them in the game like that at an early age. They was trying to put them in the sports, and try to keep them active and keep them away from that stuff.
Yeah.
It ain't like that no more either. I'm gonna put him out there because he gonna make me some money. That's how they looking at it now. They looking at the dollar instead of trying to get the kid out the situation that they had to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
it's a lot of factors, man.
and see, look, this the crazy thing, right? Just like how I was saying earlier. Hey, I agree with you, Chris. You don't have to be blood.
Right,
most of my closest people around me are probably not even blood at all. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
but this another thing. You went from that, like you were saying, the old street cats, they man, they ain't want you to get caught up in that.
Right.
To how I was saying earlier, everybody want to exploit kids and make money off kids now. To
Yeah.
now look what the street cats start doing, especially like in Florida. They
Yeah.
gambling on little league football games. You know what I'm saying? But guess what the smart people do, especially them guys that got potential to go to like the NFL, NBA. You you get white families like Patrick Willis, like Michael
Yeah.
Orr. They got
Right.
adopted. They got
Right.
adopted by white families, and then they went to the league.
Yeah.
And guess who the first person? Guess who the first people they gonna kick some chips to?
You already know.
You
You
feel what I'm
already
saying?
right.
Ain't that something? They using that pain, that struggle that them kids use to motivate them to make it to the next level. And who the first person to benefit from it?
Yeah.
Not let's not talk about the NFL draft. We'll be
Yeah.
here all night.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And but look, they see the potential in them while they in high school or college.
No
They
doubt.
they make a chess move, boom, they reach
Yeah.
to. You
Yeah.
know?
They sacrifice a couple of dollars to make millions.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. And you know
Right.
what else? When I looked into that story about Patrick Willis, who was what did he get elected into the Hall of Fame? I think he did.
I don't know if he have yet. He should be.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, he one of the best middle linebackers ever since Ray
Yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah.
I think he got adopted when he was like 17 or 18 in high school because
Yeah.
he had an abusive daddy.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, and that family adopted him.
Yeah.
Dang, boy, that's real right there. Hey, Max Julius, you messed up. If you broke up with that girl, if you broke up with that girl, that brother went to the NFL. Hey, look, Nick, you right, man. They are playing chess with
Yeah.
people's lives, man. That's the
Right.
sad part. They are playing chess, and
Yeah.
it's like we should be there to benefit, or that person's family should be there to benefit. Max funny, man.
Talking, man. He talking about
But yeah,
something.
man. Hey, look, man. I know it's late, man. You gotta get up in the morning, man. But look, hey, I appreciate you again, Jamie. My people to join me. And you got any closing remarks?
Well, man, I just want to put positivity out there, man. I want to see everybody succeed, man. Whatever you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's for sure, man. But look, hey, I appreciate you for joining me. I appreciate you guys for chiming in and giving some feedback and just checking out the live, man. Until hey, guess what? This one going on the podcast too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Till next
Famous.
time. Oh yeah, yeah. Till next time, people. We out.